Hello, welcome to St Joseph's first BBC broadcast. My name is Sam.
And I'm Shannon. Today we have a lot of exciting stories for you, from the cycling fundraiser to the recent updates on the earthquake.
And now over to Harry on today's top stories.
Thanks guys. We are here today reporting on the sad death of world famous physicist and cosmologist Stephen Hawking. He was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which eventually paralysed his entire body. He lost his speech, but was able to talk due to a device which he could communicate through typing. A film was made of his life called The Theory of Everything, in which he was portrayed by Eddie Redmayne. He died aged 76 in Cambridge, early Wednesday morning.
On to other news, a fire broke out earlier today in Hull. Huge flames of smoke clouds have been seen above Hull with explosion noises as the fire erupted. The fire crews rushed to the scene, desperate to get rid of the fire. Several witnesses took to social media, such as Twitter, about the fire. One said, "Just saw massive amounts of smoke clouds in Hull/Port Slade now, with lots of sirens. Just popped out and saw ash floating in our street. East Sussex has been covered in ash and smoke. The smoke had also been seen for miles. Reports say that local buildings have been evacuated. It is unaware if anyone is hurt."
Schofield,
Good morning.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
And we'd like to ask you about your sponsor bike ride. What can you tell us about it? How far are you going?
1,006 kilometres.
Well, that's very impressive.
Well, I'm going to start in Seville, and I'm going to go along one of the routes to Santiago. It's an ancient pilgrimage site, supposed to be the reputed burial place of St. James the Apostle. Now then, I've gone along from France 9 times previously, and that's about 500 miles. This one is about, this one's longer. This one goes from Seville. So I'm going to do it in 10 days, starting on the 3rd of April and finishing 10 days later.
Who else are you going to do it with?
I'm going to go with my son-in-law, Dan. He's a keen cyclist as well. We often go mountain biking together. And a colleague of mine I used to teach with, a chap called Mr. Jenkins. And he's retired from teaching now, and he also is a keen cyclist. And so the 3 of us are setting off. And Dan and I will be raising money for the school building fund, so we can put. We want to try and get as much money as we possibly can. And we've got a website out there, Just Give In, and already it's bringing in some really good sponsorship. So thanks to all those people who are sponsoring us.
So how can you donate for this event?
2 ways. You can either contact the school, people can pay via parent pay, or they can just go on the website, Just Give In, and there will be a link from the school website to either of those methods.
Well, thank you, Mr. Schofield, for talking to us. Well, good luck with raising money. Hopefully you'll raise not 1, not 2, but £3,000.
That'll be good. Well, thank you very much indeed, and thanks for your good wishes. And I'll send you a postcard. I'll send you a postcard to the BBC Roving Reporters School Report.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime.
Have a good day.
Hello, thank you for joining us here today. We hear that you were in a Youth Speaks competition. Could you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Well, Youth Speaks is a debating competition where some teams come up with an argument and then you debate the topic. And then you have an opposer, a proposer and a chairperson. And then you present your argument on the night and then you have a winner.
That's very interesting. How did you prepare for the debate?
Me and Ryan wrote our speeches ourselves, and Keris wrote a chair and part. And then we all just learned them together and in the house, and then we went.
What did you learn from the experience?
Well, we learned how to speak in front of an active audience, which is a great thing. And we learned how to cooperate as a team and to connect with each other and reference to each other throughout speech. That was good. And we also learned how to construct a speech, which is great as well.
It's very interesting. What were your feelings about the debate overall?
We really enjoyed it. It was like a good thing to do. And I feel like we'd be better speaking in public now if we had to do it in the future.
Would you ever do this again?
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Well, that's very interesting.
Thank you for joining us here today.
Caitlin, Amelia and Caitlin have kindly agreed to speak with us about the trip that St Joseph's Walsh Department has organised.
So, Year 7 are going to go to Clongrannog on Friday the 11th of May to Sunday the 13th of May. It's the Year 7 residential trip to Clongrannog with the Earth.
This is an opportunity to speak Welsh outside of school with our friends. There are over 20 activities such as go-karting, skiing, tobogganing, quad biking and many more.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I have been before in Year 6 and it was so much fun, and I can't wait to go again and do all the activities.
I'm looking forward to trying new activities with my friends. It's a new experience for me and I'm really excited to go.
I'm very excited to go as I'll be spending lots of time with my friends and it'll be my birthday on that weekend.
What particular activities are you really looking forward to take part in?
Well, the quad biking was really fun when I went there, so I really want to do that again.
I've been looking forward to doing this dry slope skiing because I've never been to do something like that before and I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm also looking forward to the skiing because I've never been skiing before and it looks really fun.
Thank you so much for joining us and we hope you have a really great time in Clongrannog. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to ask you a few questions about the ski trip to Italy.
How long did it take to organise the trip and what was involved?
Well, it took over a year actually to do the organisation of the trip. It took a lot more organising than I initially expected. However, initially we needed to think about where we wanted to go as a school and if students were interested in going. We needed to speak to the students to see if they wanted to go skiing, if there's something they would like to take part in. We had a huge response and a very positive response. Lots of students in school wanted to go and we couldn't take absolutely everyone, so that was the first part of the organising. Secondly, we needed to think about lots of things such as where do we want to go. We thought about Chamonix in France, we thought about Austria, we thought about Italy, and eventually we decided to go to Italy because it seemed the best value for money and what it offered. Many other things as well. We needed to think about pricing, we needed to think about après-ski activities after ski, then when we did our ski and what we were going to do in the evening, and lots of other things such as accommodation, so it was a lot of organising.
Was it worth the time and the effort you put?
Definitely so. They were definitely worth the time and the effort. I think that both staff and students really enjoyed themselves. We've had lots of positive feedback since we've come back, and I think just seeing students skiing and how quickly you guys progressed over the time was very, very rewarding.
Would you guys go again?
Personally, I would definitely, without like a second thought, I would go again. Especially like just enjoying the time we're having there. It's just fun.
It was really fun, wasn't it?
Well, certainly I would definitely go again.
Thank you for joining us, Miss Gow. I got a few questions for Josh and Eve. Did you enjoy the trip?
I really enjoyed the trip. It was just like at the start no one knew how to ski, but then as like the weeks, like the days progressed, we got way better and then started enjoying ourselves more.
I enjoyed it too. I was quite nervous on the first few days, but I got used to it and I started to really enjoy it.
It's quite a different experience, isn't it, being on skis?
Yes.
It's quite different to anything we'd done. It was the first time for me to ski, and both of you, was it the first time as well?
Yes.
So it was quite nerve-wracking, but I think as soon as you get the basic skills, we were off, which was great.
What was the best part about the trip?
The best part of the trip for me was just like going into it, not knowing that many people, and then like just hanging out and like making new friends and coming out of it like way more friends and like a more like social like kind of like I don't know it's like it's a social development, yeah.
There's lots of team building and
Yeah.
things, isn't it, and helping one another, especially I think you picked me up a few times when I fallen over. Which there was lots of falling over, to be fair.
My favourite part was skiing. I mean, everyone did like fall over and sometimes got hurt, but they always got back up and continued.
Thanks for you.
I got one more question. On a scale to 1 to 10, how much do you guys enjoy?
You go first.
9.5.
I'd say 10 out of 10 for me. If it was really successful, I loved it.
I'd say 11.
11, which is good news. Fab.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks boys, no problem.
So, Mr. Hanson, did the death of Stephen Hawkins affect you in any way?
Yeah, I would say it did affect me. It was sad news to wake up to. It was actually one of my pupils in year 9 that informed me of it in the morning, and I had to rush to the computer to check that it was actually true. I think it is a big loss, not only just to science but to the world. I think he had a big influence, not just in the science community, but he was a really funny man as well, so he appeared in a lot of comedy shows and podcasts as well. He had a great sense of humour, so I think a lot of people are missing out.
So, is he particularly special to you? Does he bring you any influences?
Yeah. When I was younger, I did have quite a big interest in astronomy and a little bit of physics, so he would have influenced me back then. Later on in life, I veered more towards chemistry and biology, where his influences weren't as prominent, but he did in the earlier life, I'd say. And particularly in genetics as well, where we started to learn about genetic disorders, and his particular struggles with motor neuron disease was particularly interesting and inspiring, I'd say.
Thank you for answering my question, sir, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much.
We are here to ask you about your weightlifting hobby, and can you tell us more about it?
Well, weightlifting is an Olympic sport where you get 3 attempts at 2 different lifts. One lift is called the snatch and the other lift is called the clean and jerk.
What's your biggest achievement?
I think my biggest achievement is winning the bronze medal in the 94 kilogram category in the Welsh Weightlifting Open last year.
Did you start weightlifting for fitness or did you just enjoy the sport?
Bit of both really. I want to get fit, I want to get in shape, but I do really like the sport now. I actually love the sport.
How do you prepare for big competitions?
Right, so I train at the moment about 6 days a week, and that is most of the way through the year. So I might have a week off of a meal here and there if I go away, but generally I train about 5 times a week. But when a big competition comes up, I got to lose a little bit of weight to get within the weight category and cut down on school dinners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Smith. Today we are here to talk to you about the club that you created called Rector's Club.
Yep.
So how do you select writing club members?
How do we select them? I basically send an email out to all the English teachers and I basically ask, is there anybody in your classes who enjoys writing or who you think would benefit from being part of a club where they get to express themselves in writing, do different kinds of writing, and is there anybody you think who would be developed, who a club like that would help them and bring them on? And then English department staff send their names to me and then we just pick a list up of them.
So what do you mainly do in Rector's Club?
It varies. Mr. Paul Doyle comes in, he works for local authority, he works for lots of different schools. He does most of it. I go down from time to time, but he does the majority. And it varies, so he'll have different kind of focus tasks for the year, so he might look at a bit of poetry, or might look at some poetic techniques, or might look at a short story and how the writer uses character and descriptive language. And then what he'll do is you get the members of Writers Club to do pieces of their own writing. So they'll kind of have a go doing the same thing. And then the aim is at the end of the year, we're collecting all the writing, put it together, and hopefully produce a book.
How did you get the idea of starting Rector's Club?
I didn't come up with the idea actually, it's something that's been running for years. Like I said, Mr. Doyle, he works with a lot of different schools. I was going to do a Writers Club anyway, because I love writing and I love reading. But Mr. Doyle got in touch with me and he said, look, is there anything you'd like me to do with your students? I do this, you know, he gave me some examples. So he said I could come into school and work with small groups of pupils. So we just set up from there, really.
That's very interesting, sir. Thank you for answering all our questions. Have a good day.
No problem. Right. Thank you very much.
We have a sports network, and I'm going to be talking about the football scores. Sevilla beating Man United 2-1, Juventus beating Tottenham 2-1, and then the brilliant score Barcelona beating Chelsea 3-0. Over to you with the rugby scores.
Six Nations table is Ireland top with 19 points, Wales are second with 11 points, England are third with 10 points, France is fourth with 10 points, Scotland are fifth with 8 points, and Italy's last with 0 points. That's all from us.
And now some very exciting news for our very old news reporter, Izzy. Izzy, tell us a little bit about your achievements in karate.
So basically in London last year,
I come first in the British Championships for under 11s girls fighting, and it was a really good experience.
What do you think you learned along the way, other than karate?
On the way there, I think I learned that I just have to believe in myself, and I just have to keep trying to get where I want to be.
That's very interesting. Thank you for answering our questions. Have a good day.
So who do you think is going to win the weekend?
Hello, Mr. Jones, and thank you for letting us interview you about the earthquake a while back. Could you tell us what happened?
Okay, well, just a quick explanation if you want to as to what actually happened. All along the UK and all over the world actually, there are tiny little faults underneath the ground. And if you imagine you've got these massive plates, kilometers thick, moving all over the Earth's surface, and the amount of pressure that builds up in these areas. When one of those little joints or one of those little faults slips, and what we feel on the surface is the Earth actually shaking. And that is what an earthquake is. So all over the UK we've got these tiny little faults. Now the big earthquakes happen where you've got the plate margins that actually come together. So where you've got two plates coming together, the pressure is at its highest, and that's when you get the really big earthquakes. But it's not to say that we don't get smaller earthquakes along the UK every now and then.
How far can an earthquake get to?
We can be talking on quite a big scale, and again, it all depends on the size of the earthquake. So something like the San Andreas fault, if we measured it on the Richter scale, and if it were to go somewhere up towards maybe 10 on the Richter scale, then you could be talking a very, very large area. But actually one of the biggest impacts of an earthquake is when it happens underneath the ocean. What happens then is, rather than just feeling the earthquake, if it happens underneath the ocean, what we can get is, imagine if you dropped a stone into a pond, the ripples go upwards. Now if that happens on a big enough scale, like it did in the Indian Ocean tsunami, then what we can get is, as I just said then, a tsunami, so a huge wave that can go outwards and can impact then everywhere around where that earthquake has happened. So it depends entirely on where the earthquake happened, how big the actual slip was, whether it happened underneath water or whatever. So lots of different factors impact how far it can actually go. Okay.
What were you doing when the earth shook?
I was, so I'd never felt an earthquake before, and I was upstairs in my house, and I felt the earth shake, and my partner said to me that she thought that next door were doing some work on their house. I thought it was a bit peculiar that the whole house can shake if next door was doing some work, and it felt like a really big lorry or a truck had driven past my house or something. So I went downstairs and I walked out onto the street, and then I realised that everybody on my street was outside the house and standing in the street, and it was then I realised that an earthquake had actually happened.
Thank you for letting us know about the earthquake, and enjoy the rest of your day.
No worries, thank you very much, guys.
Thanks guys. The weather for today is in the afternoon it'll be partly cloudy with a bit of sun at 12 degrees and winds at 14 miles per hour. It'll be the same all afternoon until 6 p.m. where the sunset will occur. Over to you, Roman.
As the sun goes, it will be partly cloudy, and soon at 10 p.m. there is a 40% chance of rain going into tomorrow morning. So watch out and get your umbrellas out. We won't be needing these. Bye for now, and that's all we have for the weather forecast.
This has been St. Joseph's giving you the latest news. See you next time.